Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh, yeah, returning with another for the prediction video. Well, this time I'm afraid we don't have many. I don't have many fights to talk about. Actually, I'm just gonna really do one fight, one big one, and yeah, which is Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang. I believe that's the right pronunciation. But before we get to that, I also see that Mayer is making her return to the ring for the first time since losing to Alicia Baumgartner last October. Yeah, so she's fighting a woman called. Well, this is a lightweight fight, so I don't know whether she plans to stay there where this is just a one fight, like a tune up. But anyway, this is at the lightweight, and her opponent is Christina Linardatou. She was actually born in the Dominican Republic, but she lives in Greece, and I know that her that last name is Greek anyway. Yeah, I think she married a Greek because doesn't matter. Her full name is Christina Linardatou Duran, so maybe she's like half Greek, probably. Yeah. Right, so I've come across her name. She has fought Katie Taylor actually, and she was a WBO super lightweight champion for a while. And she gave Katie Taylor a pretty good fight also. Yeah, that was in 2019, and since then she's won two fights. Well, Mikaela Mayer is a really top condition athlete. She's 32, but really in really great shape, and I have no doubt that she will win this fight. She is simply a better boxer, I would say, than Linardatou, who is still, yeah, a good, a good boxer in her own right. Yeah, but this fight is also at this arena where the Copper Box Arena, where the main fight is happening. So I think this is, of course, this will most likely go distance. Mikaela is not really a puncher, and yeah, and now fighting at a higher weight. Well, who knows? Maybe it will add to her punching power, but I don't really expect that. So she will win on points. That's what I expect anyway. Yes. All right. So, I guess there is nothing else but to go to the main fight here. Yeah. So Joyce, the Juggernaut, is fighting for the interim or defending his interim WBO title, which he won in his last fight when he knocked out Joseph Parker in the 11th round. Yeah, that was one heck of a fight. Yeah, Joyce is 15-0 with 14 KOs. He's 37 years old. Yeah, so he is now reaching like, you know, the age where fighters usually slow down. So, he must win this fight in order to get a world title shot either against Fury or Usyk. Probably Fury, that would have been really a huge fight. Not just in terms of how big those two guys are, but really great British heavyweight matchup. But first, he has to defeat this guy, Zhilei Zhang, who is equally tall. And let me tell you, man, he is a fucking strong guy, man. He's a beast. He is wow, a behemoth. Behemoth. So in in the fight, his last fight against Filip Hrgovic, I saw that fight. Man, he was taking a lot of shots, and you know he was just he would barely wince, from until the last round when he kind of started seemed like to get a little bit sluggish and feeling the effect of the punishment of overextended amount of time, yeah, and all that. But I mean, he's got one hell of a chin, and he can punch also very well, very hard, very strong guy. Doesn't matter. He is like almost 40 years old, but still 39. But I think he's gonna be 40 soon, probably. And this is, of course, do or die for him if he loses this fight, and it's pretty much back to the waiting line. And when you are almost 40, that can be tough, to get another big fight. But yeah, I mean, he's an exciting fighter. I think even if he loses, which I do expect him actually to do here, and even against Hergovich, where there were many people saying he got robbed. I don't think he really did. It's just that he did have the best punches. He landed the biggest punches. He put Hergovich down, stuff like that. But he got outlanded, outboxed. All right. I thought Hergovich won fair and square, even though it was a close fight. So, and he was down. But see, I thought he still won at least 7 rounds, Hergovich. So, yeah, it was a fair decision, I thought. Yeah. So, Joe Joyce. Back to Joe Joyce. But as I said, Zhang is 24, has 24 wins, 19 knockouts, one loss to Hrgovic, and a draw against Jerry Forrest, which was pretty weird because he did put Forrest down 3 times, but he also lost 1 point for holding. So that fight ended as a majority draw, and actually one judge had Forrest ahead. Wow. Forrest a tough guy, really big, tough bastard. Well, not so big, but really tough and strong. But anyway, yeah. So, Joe Joyce, back to him. He's, yeah, I mean, he's just even, I mean, his chin is just amazing. He's even tougher than Zhang. And that's crazy because Zhang is very extremely tough, but Joyce, I mean, nobody has yet. He fought punches really hard once, like Dubois, for instance, who hit him many times with solid, clean blows, and never looked like Joyce never stopped coming, despite all that, and he never really looked really hurt, you know, never really looked hurt. And that's pretty much, it shows that he's got one heck of a chin. And yeah, I mean, he's stopped all of his opponents except for Brian Jennings, who is like a boxer technician, who moves around, kind of not so easy to get to put away, a guy like that when you are so big and slow. And the thing is, both guys are rather slow, but the big difference is that Joyce, he does have well, he's not that hard to hit, but he does have a slightly better defense than Zhang. Zhang is, I mean, he got hit a lot by Hurguch. All right, so that's why he lost. Also, simple as that. And even though those shots didn't seem to bother him until the very end of the fight, he still got hit a lot. All right, so even though Joyce himself took a lot of shots from, for instance, Takam guys like and Dubois also, he still has a little better defense, I would say. And these guys are no joke, either Takam or Dubois. They are really quality fighters, who both can hit, especially Dubois. So And in that fight, actually, Joyce won by jabbing, just constantly jabbing Dubois until his eye was like totally, fucked up. So, um, yeah, this I don't know. Here he will probably fight a little bit different because, or maybe not. On the other hand, he's fighting a puncher who actually, while Joyce does have power, I never really thought that he's like a really this devastating puncher like AK like akin to Mike Tyson or George Foreman. He has, as we've seen against Parker, he does have enough power to put you away eventually, but he's never really beaten anybody by just knocking him out with just a few punches in one round. Let's put it doesn't have to be the first round, but you know what I mean. Like just right away put you away, like doom 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 in that same round. No, he's not that hard, that big puncher. While Zhang may be, but he probably is, but because of his being so slow, he hasn't either scored many, early stoppages. I mean, yeah. So even though Joyce did kind of stop Takam pretty fast. I mean, after losing the first 4 rounds or something, but usually he doesn't really stop fighters really fast. Well, actually, yeah, I see Zhang does have a first round knockout against Kyle Alexander, second round knockout. So, yeah, I mean, in general, I would say he's a bigger puncher here. Even though Joyce also can punch, can, yes. But he has a kind of a different sort of strategy in the way he fights. And I remember his fight against what was his name? Bermain Styvern, yeah. So that's what he did there. He just went at Styvern and kept landing punches, doom, 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 kept, hitting him until he just, totally, broke him down in 6 rounds. But even though it was 6 round stoppage, he did not win by a sudden, like, explosive combination or something. He just kept throwing, landing, breaking him down. So that's how he usually stops you, right, Joyce? Well, Zhang doesn't have to do that to stop you. So that's why Zhang may have, usually would have had anyway puncher's chance, but fighting a guy with that tough a chin, I don't know really. He would have to land a lot of big punches on him. I mean, come on. So that's why it's such a, it's really he doesn't have a good chance to win this fight, Jean. Simple as that. And Joyce is the favorite, of course. Not just because he's younger, he's just a little younger than me, but he's simply a bit better all around, as a technically as a boxer and a good jabber, as I said, and a little bit more, how do you say it, well rounded as a fighter, and yeah, since both guys are really tough, Joyce can win either by a late stoppage or on points, of course. Yeah, but of course, as I said, Zhang is very tough. So I think it's more likely that this fight goes the distance and Joyce wins on points. But it will be one heck of a fight. I think both guys will give it all and duke it out, until the last bell. Yeah. So it's more likely that if a stoppage comes, it will be in the championship round, same as with Parker against Parker. But so my prediction would be most likely Joyce wins on points or maybe by a late championship round stoppage. All right, that was all for this time. Thank you all for watching. Bye.